Hi everyone, welcome back to Stretching for the Stiff. So today we are going to talk about the quadricep muscle. So this is the large muscle in the front of the thigh. So yesterday we addressed the hamstring. This is now the opposite muscle. So this muscle is really important to keep mobile and keep it nice and flexible because it does take pressure off the knee joint itself. It's also really important that this muscle is nice and flexible because in order to access one of the hip flexor muscles, which is called the psoas major, your quadricep muscle needs to be flexible. Otherwise, you can't even find that hip flexor muscle. And that's a problem because that particular muscle, and we're going to talk more about that tomorrow, can be a generator for pain and a lot of instability in the spine. Okay, and like I said, we're going to address more of that tomorrow. Okay, so this is a really important muscle, this quadricep muscle, to keep nice and flexible, and especially if you're an active individual, if you like to run, if you like to cycle, if you like to walk, you want to keep this muscle as mobile as you can because it will, if it's too tight, it's going to put pressure on the kneecap and the knee joint itself. Okay, so the simplest way to get started is laying on your belly. So I have a strap here. So I'm going to lay on my belly. I'm going to pull my belly button towards my spine, and I'm gently just going to bend this leg. You can just grab with your arm. If that's too uncomfortable, that's when you're just going to use your strap to help pull that shin, and you're pulling the heel towards the bum area, with the goal being eventually that you can hit that heel on the bum, okay? So that's the goal. So some things to watch with this. It's okay if you have a lot of intensity in the front of your thigh, but you shouldn't have any pain at the knee joint itself. If you do, still do the stretch, just go a little bit more gently. So another thing is you don't want to let the leg splay out to the side as you're pulling it in. You want to make sure that the knee is directly lined up with the hip. Now you can do the same stretch standing up, but then you put in a balance component. Some things you want to watch. You want to make sure that you're staying upright and you are pulling your belly button in towards the spine and you're not splaying the leg out to the side. Okay, so that's one way. Another way is a stretch called Virasana. So Virasana is when you simply bend the knees and let the bum sink. So this is definitely not a beginner's stretch, right? This is a little bit more advanced. But how we can make this easy for a beginner, as you see, I have some yoga blocks here. And I can sit on some yoga blocks to raise myself up and lower the bum down. If that's still too intense, you can use something larger. So you can use a bolster to raise yourself up even more. And then from here, just make what you're sitting on smaller and smaller. So another thing that you could potentially do is do this same stretch while sitting in a chair. So let me grab a chair and demonstrate that. Okay, so I'm just going to sit down in a chair. You want one without arms. And I'm simply just going to bring my leg back just like this and just scoot my body forward. So I'm getting a stretch through here. So this is if you're really feeling tight through this region. This is an easy stretch that you can do. So you're scooching forward to where you're getting a stretch. You want to keep the belly pulled in, and you should feel it right through here. You shouldn't have any knee pain. If it's too much pressure on the foot, you can simply roll a towel and place the foot on a towel. Okay, so I hope you found these stretches helpful to get in and stretch those quads. Okay, and I will see you tomorrow as we talk about the psoas major.